stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leave him raised like Simba, or cracked like the Beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me some breathing room with this one. I watched Fantasia 2000 and wrote this review like 6 months ago, but I'm just taping it today. These notes are not fresh. Case in point, I start by saying, here comes Tuxedo Jones. It's Roy Disney. I don't get that joke or reference or what I was talking about. Who is Tuxedo Jones, Curtis? I looked up Tuxedo Jones. There's a Tuxedo Jones YouTube channel with 1 video and 1 subscriber. Let's just continue like this is going well. Over 60 years ago, Roy Disney's Uncle Walt was talking about a musical extravaganza known as Fantasia. He says Walt first introduced synchronized sound with Steamboat Willie, while Flowers and Trees was the first color cartoon, and he developed a new camera system for his first full-length movie, Snow White. That's an impressive resume. The first computer-generated scenes in a Disney movie were the clock gears in The Great Mouse Detective, and I mentioned in my Aladdin review a few weeks ago that I always thought the first time they used computer animation was the tiger head, but Roy, aka Tuxedo Jones, you're blowing my mind. Fantasia 2000, I have no idea what to expect. The original Fantasia was a bucket of hit and miss, a collision of spectacular and suck. The shorts are either 1 out of 10s or 11 out of 10s. We see clips of Fantasia, the original movie, and behind the scenes making of, scroll past on a series of moving squares and page flips, and we're off. We get Beethoven's Symphony to Splashing, Pink, and oh yeah, Fantasia, where there's really nothing to comment on because it's mostly abstract lunacy. We get trainable butterflies and cracks in the ground, and then we go anime with drastic flashing red and yellow and white spirals that would make even Sailor Moon puke. Steve Martin is here. We revisit the original movie once again. Fantasia was supposed to be a, quote, perpetual work in progress, where it would be different every time you came to see it. That's awesome and incredible. We have an orchestra in blue again, a star in the sky, there's icebergs, there's birds, there's music, there's birds, there's a glockenspiel, a 3D whale. Neat. An underwater 3D whale, underwater dancing 2D whales. As the 3D whales break the surface, computer animation meets regular 2D animation. I'm forced to betray my childhood and kind of agree how much better 3D animation looks these days. The whale hits a magical moon ray and now it's flying. These poor animators. You know they had to sit there and nod while some high-end writer who came to work high as a kite after being awake for 3 days tried to explain to them his vision for this short. Like what if the whale was actually a bird who is still a whale? You get me, man? You get me? You get me? I used to work for a guy we all would try to verbally back into a corner because as soon as he realized he couldn't answer our simple questions without hilariously contradicting himself, he would go on the offense and just say the same corporate buzzword or phrase over and over until he left his office. So I'm guessing the meeting at Disney went something like this, something like that, something like, okay, just to get my head musically around this imagery, I assume a flying whale is symbolic of something. Can you enlighten me? Yeah, it's a perpetual work in progress, a perpetual work in progress. Right, so I assume this is a well thought out narrative with a deep analogy about the environment that will resonate with our loyal fan base who fondly remember the original and are hoping Fantasia 2000 brings them back to a place of childhood bliss. Man, it's a perpetual work in progress! A perpetual work in progress! Okay, so now all the whales are flying and cloud jumping. Just so I understand, this is a representation of physical or socioeconomic freedom. It's a perpetual work in progress! Okay, animated whales, and it's over. Up next, oh hey, cool. He pitches the next cartoon, which is animated over-top Rhapsody in blue. We get some live sketching, some skyscrapers. We go inside, there's a dude sleeping with his drumstick. He wakes up and he's late, he runs down the street, he steals a woman's donut. What do you expect, lady? Who eats a donut leaning out of the ground floor window facing a busy street? The animation here is okay, but they're doing some scenes all red, some scenes all blue, that style, I dig it. While the animation is pretty basic, judging by the subways and buildings and rushed, overdressed people, I'm guessing this is New York and they are nailing the vibe, I'm serious. I've only been to New York once, and it's something you can't really describe. You kind of have to experience it. Everyone rushing, always in a hurry, 24/7, always rushing. Crazy to think this is the year 2000, so New York still had that optimistic, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. That's showbiz. Come realize your dream, kids. Shiny gloss for another year before everything, including the world, changed. Yep, talking about September 11th on a Disney review. Now I'm just going to sit back and watch those happy subscriber numbers soar. This is definitely New York. We see Rockefeller Center. That was my favorite part of New York City when I was there, to be honest. People are skating on it, and here I am skating on it. Yep, Fantasia 2000. So much to talk about. The drummer is drumming, and wow, I just realized 1993 WWF superstar The Narcissist theme music is a complete ripoff of Rhapsody in Blue. I'm serious. Take a listen. Did I mention I skated Rockefeller Center? There's a little girl without a nose who doesn't like ballet but wants to skate and drops her ball from the window and it's almost run over by a million cars from a busy New York street. Good times. Wide shot of Times Square and we're done! Bette Midler stands really awkwardly and gives us some Fantasia trivia. She looks so uncomfortable, I don't know what's going on. She's like popping her hips and leaning back but her head's still centered like she's either in extreme pain or way overthinking her posture. Midler lists a bunch of rejected short ideas for the original Fantasia and I guess that's what Friends are for. No wait, that's not her. That's not her song. She's the Beaches girl. Is that what Friends are for? I don't know. Anyway, she pitches to a new short with a bunch of toys coming to life. Eat that, Toy Story. The ballerina and a creepy jester Jack in the Box meet some toy soldiers. One toy soldier has only one leg and has an instant crush on the ballerina because he thinks she also only has one leg. And this, my friends, is a tale of acronomophilia. Yeah. Where someone is attracted to someone else based on their physical abnormalities or disabilities. Ha! Not thinking about September 11th anymore, are you? You'll learn something new today. The animation here is phenomenal, blowing the previous two shorts out of the water. But you know who is in the water? The toy soldier, because the jealous jester threw a boat at the toy soldier and he and the boat fell out the window and into the sewers. So he's in a toy boat going through the sewers where the rats try to eat him as they do. As Martika would say, they all fall down like toy soldiers. He's expelled into the river and sinks into the abyss and fish eat him. This creepy jester Jack in the Box guy is trying to get the attention of the ballerina, who turns out actually has two legs after all. Some fishermen catch the fish and the toy soldier escapes and returns and he's having a sword fight with the Jack in the Box jester. Saying this aloud doesn't do his justice. This is actually fantastic. Toy soldier vanquishes Jack in the Box jester, is finally reunited with the ballerina. Fade to black. Fade to James Earl Jones, who asks us the age-old question philosophers have pondered for eons. What would happen if you gave a yo-yo to a flock of flamingos? You guessed it. One flamingo learns to use the yo-yo much to the flamingo chagrin of the other flamingos, and it's over before it began. Now Penn and Teller are up, and they pitch back to the original Sorcerer's Apprentice short, and sure, this is a damned if you do, damned if you don't move. If they tried to remake or update the classic short, people would have lost their minds, so you might as well just cut and paste the original. That's fine. Pomp and Circumstance and Noah's Ark featuring Donald Duck as Noah is up next. Wow, all the animals come 2 by 2. Now this feels like Disney. This is Disney animation. The Ark is awesome and biblical Donald is great. Okay, no wait, there's real Noah. I'm confused. Donald is naked and getting drunk in a hammock. My man. It starts raining and Daisy helps move him forward. If you ever stop and think about the abusive relationship dynamics between Donald and Daisy, it'll ruin your entire day, believe me. Okay, Pomp and Circumstance. Or as anyone who had a normal childhood in the 80s or 90s knows, it's Macho Man Randy Savage's theme music. Yeah. It's raining and I think there's going to be a flood. The flood is here, the flood is over. Dry land and the animals make their exit from the Ark and Pomp and Circumstance is blaring. All I can think about is Macho Man Randy Savage. Miss Elizabeth, will you marry me? The subplot was that Daisy and Donald got separated and thought the other was dead, which is sad at the core, but even sadder knowing that if that were true, that would mean the permanent extinction of the entire duck species. But nah, they find each other and that's all. Want to repopulate our species? Which I imagine was a popular post-Ark animal pickup line. Angela Lansbury, Mrs. Potts, Murder, She Wrote is here. Wow. We have Mufasa and Mrs. Potts in the last 20 minutes or so of the same movie. There is a Disney crossover everyone wants to see. Lansbury sends us into nature where there's deer and some fairies, and I'm constantly jumping back and forth between thinking this is creepy, not creepy. I think they were trying to make an environmental statement clearly because the fairy is like made of rain and everything is dry, and she touches a tree and I dropped my phone. The tree comes to life and it's a demon bird and it turns to lava and it's burning through the forest trying to kill the rain fairy. The whole forest is burning and the rain fairy is screwed. Firebird consumes the rain fairy and geez, that was intense. All right, the entire forest is burnt down. It's all ash. The elk emerges and is sad because there's nothing left of his forest. he should go ask James Earl Jones where his son Simba is so he can return and make the Pride Lands great again. Okay, Water Fairy is alive, but barely. The elk scoops her up and takes her out of there. Animation is incredible once again. As they run, flowers and shrubbery start to grow from the soot. She gets her strength back and brings down the rain, and the forest grows lush once again. I'm surprised clips of this aren't shown on a lot of Disney movie montages. That was amazing. The quick cuts and camera movements while the forest regrows are some of the best animated sequences I've ever seen from this company. That short was worth the price of admission alone. All right, no wrap. Just a wide shot of the orchestra packing up, and I guess that's it. How does one even review something like this? I mean, you have to be the hardest of hardcore Disney fans, I think, to really jump headfirst into this. Or the original Fantasia, to be honest. But I also think they're just artsy and vague enough that the people that think themselves highbrow can allow themselves to like join at the Disney talks at the dinner table and be like, oh, I saw Fantasia 2000. I don't know. Dancing mops and buckets, iconic. I'm sitting through the credits. Give me what I need. Yes, pomp and circumstance. God, this is all I want. I hope Fantasia 3 is just 90 minutes of nonsense over top pomp and circumstance, constantly looping.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal